Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the finale of season 13. Of course, we had the finale of the Monday tier, and Robbo won that one. We're down to another championship fight this evening between Matthew and Paul Jones, who is leading the championship by 10 points as we go into this final race in Interlagos. The track is 4.30 kilometres and 2.677 miles in length. It's got 2 DRS zones. It's going to have 36 laps. It's got 16 corners around this circuit. Sorry, it's got 15 corners around this circuit. The championship standings, as I just said, there's 10 points between the top two. Paul Jones is on 207 points, 197 points for Matthew. Banter Brandon is in third after this is only his 7th start this season out of 10. And he's on 139 points. It's a big fight for third place in the championship. Coits Gamer is sitting in fourth place right now with 126. Fifth place for Pippo Kennedy on 124. Any of those three drivers can take third place and that bronze medal for season 13. Aston Martin, by the looks of things now, are scot-free and have won the Constructors' Championship with 174 points, 274 points, 229 points for Alfa Romeo, and Williams are in third on 188 points. They're closely followed by AlphaTauri as well, who are in fourth place. This championship fight, hopefully tonight, is going to be an exciting one at Interlagos, of course, a classic for seeing final races in yesteryear, sort of in the 2000s and the early 2010s, as we've got laps already getting underway. So who is going to win, Lee? Who is going to be crowned season 13 champion, with, of course, Chuckle as well racing today for his final race as season 12 champion?
Yeah, I mean, he's got that 10-point advantage, Paul Jones there. So it could most likely come into his hand. He has been one of the most consistent on the grid. So if he's able to pull out the bag and get a decent finish, then the title's his. And then again, he has to be able to cross that finish line at the end in order to at least have a chance of defending it. But yeah, also what I was noticing at the very start of qualifying one is it took drivers a good while to come out of their garages, so I'm suspecting that it could be a little bit wet during the race.
Wow, that's really gonna throw something else into the mix for this championship fight. As you were saying about Paul Jones being consistent, he's had 4 third place finishes in the last 4 weeks, gaining 80 points just like that. So he's been super consistent. Matthew had a poorer start to the season. He started off well in the first round in Austria. He won that race. He came quite high up in the sprint of that first round. He then kind of dropped off mid-season a little bit, getting a couple of second places. Then he got 7 points, which is around sort of a 10th, 11th, 12th in RTG. And then sort of had some really good results so far. Matthew has certainly got the momentum going into this final round. But I wouldn't want to put money on this. I'm not sure who's going to win this. I've been to work today, and I've just been watching the clock, waiting to do my second job, which is, of course, commentating on these lovely drivers. A little disclaimer tonight. Lee, not going to be as chatty as he usually is. He's not feeling that great, but he is going to sit along, help out, watch along for this final round, because it's one that you certainly don't want to miss. Also, I broke my foot 2 days ago, or my toe, so I'm in a bit of pain, but I'm going to crack on with it as well. To give you the best coverage we can for this final round. Chuckle set a lap time on the intermediates, Lee. Last time we're going to see it this season. Coits Gamer, though, consistently been on those intermediates in Q1, even if he's the only one again on that intermediate tyre with a 113.325. 112.719. Actually beating Prof on the soft.
Yeah, I think Prof possibly got held up by Coyot's gamer, funnily enough, is seen basically where Prodigy is now. I seen Coyot's gamer just that little bit in front of Prof. So whether he could have had a small impact on Prof's lap, but then Prof has just went and improved there, so it could have been just a double warm-up lap for 109.362. So judging by that, he's going to be through to Q2 up to now, but then again, we've still got plenty of time to go.
108.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
sorry, yeah, 108.279 for Prodigy, and you're already wondering. I think Lee, you may know this already, as you've seen the notes. We were here in season 13 in the Monday tier, and that was in their 5th round. And Prodigy got pole then, and he did a 107.897. So Lee's about 4/10 off that already, and we're only in Q1, and the track really does ramp up. It does feel more green, as we like to call it. There's no rubber being put down on the asphalt just yet, as he makes his way into turn 10, into Bico de Pato, and then we're going to go into Marajula and into Young Cow, the final braking zone of the lap. But yeah, super excited for this. I love Interlagos, one of the best tracks for racing, a fully proper old school circuit, and it's definitely in the top 5 of the 24 on the 2023 calendar. Obviously we did only have 22 actually, with Imola being lost, but it's certainly right up there. Absolutely love this circuit. Hopefully it will never leave us.
Best track still got to be Monaco. If you're a sadist, that is.
Apologies, Lee's not very well, and he must have taken the wrong medication this evening, because I have no idea what he's on about there. As Bugatti Slovan goes second. An honourable mention actually for Bugatti. Done again very well. He came 3rd in the championship last season. Not looking like that's going to happen this season, but he's in 6th at the moment. He could get 5th, 4th. Another consistent season. Obviously liking F1 23. Unlike some other drivers, me included.
Oh, nice job, mate, on mediums. Puts in a 109.5, putting it in 9th place. So risking it on them mediums in Q1, but then we will have plenty of time to be able to get in that soft lap. Our championship leader, though, Paul Jones in the Alfa Romeo, is on a lap right now. We'll just have a wee watch if you're on board with him.
I am indeed.
He's going to do.
Matthews in 5th right now with a 109.029. Me and Lee were just saying before we started the stream, this is going to be quite stressful for these two, the full qualifying, making sure to keep it within track limits, keep it away from the walls, because some walls here can be quite close, even though it's a permanent circuit, and it really can bite you here if you get too close to the limit. But yeah, just trying to get through, work through. We're only going to lose 2 in this first qualifying session, and there we go, up to 3rd already with a 108.479. Lee, we've had a comment from Matthew's dad, who has been consistently watching the season, and again from me and Lee and everyone at RTG, thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in all season, and ones that have dipped in and out. It's been much appreciated. I have to say, since we've been here, Lee, I feel like this Thursday tier, it's been the best so far, and it certainly hasn't been an unlucky number for Thursday.
No, I would say that certainly it has been a smasher of a season. Great battles all round, even from the back of the grid all the way to the front. But yeah, got John there, Matthew's dad there, saying, "Hey chat, hey comms, good luck to Paul Jones and Matthew. You both deserve to win." So, yep, they definitely do. Both have been doing excellent, and we're seeing Super Striker just joined the session now. He's going to be wanting to get into his car as quick as possible and try and get a lap in.
I think it's a little bit late in the day to do 2 laps on 2 sets. It's a short lap here, but it's a bit too close to the wire now.
Yeah, I would say that quite gamer though. Oh, Matthew. Oh, Matthew, is that? No, he's in the pits. I just seen the yellow flag coming out the final corner there. Quite gamer goes into 8th there, the 109 flat.
That would have really mixed things up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have definitely. But yeah, only one person still to set a time yet, and that's Danny in the McLaren, who's just coming to the end of sector 2 now. He's got a car in front of him. I think that's an Alpine of Pat Bowden, yep. So will he be able to get a wee bit of a toe here?
Yeah, well,
Final punch to the line.
Yeah, as he powers out of Young Cowlin up the hill through turn 15, which is a nothing corner in these modern day Formula One cars. He makes his way to the line. It's a 109 dead, and there's 3 of them now in the 109 zeros. So very competitive. We've now got Super Striker in the white and red limited livery edition, whatever you want to call it. It looks very, very similar though, but they've just added a bit of white to the sponsorship logos. Shuckle making his way around the final corner, sets his first lap on the intermediate tyre as he makes his way up the hill and through that turn 15. DRS open as we make our way uphill towards the Senna S.
I will say that turn 1 isn't really one I particularly enjoy, especially an entry with that little patch of grass on the right hand side curving in,
yeah,
just as you're coming to the end.
Off camber as well, because it slopes in. It's much more difficult to get grip there as he makes his way down the rest of Raposta and into Desida Lago. And now we go around the left-hander at turn 6 up towards Ferragula, which is, may say, my favourite corner on the circuit. Actually quite satisfying when you get it right. You get the line right, you can get flat really nice and early there through the hairpin of turn 9 into Bico de Pato, and into Magulio, and now down to Young Cow, which is arguably the most important corner on the circuit, as we've got this long old run to the line. And there we go, 108.9. So quite competitive, as we always see, Lee, in that midfield right now.
Yeah, that's one thing we have seen quite consistently over the season, is the mid-pack have been quite close together for the whole of it. But yeah, I ended up getting a message from a certain Chuckle saying that they're going to be a little bit rusty from being on holiday. So, but it doesn't appear so, as they're hitting 6th and 7th right now. And well, we could only just guess what is going to happen in the further qualifying sessions.
Well, he's obviously had a nice recovery, hasn't
he? Yeah, Chuckle's going awfully slow for some reason, though.
As we now have Banter Brandon joining late. Yeah, as we see some battery charging there from Chuckles. We're getting late on into the session. The driver who's in 3rd place in the championship. We'll talk a little bit more as we go on into these qualifying sessions about driver of the season. I'm throwing Banter Brandon's name into the hat, I think.
Yeah, we'll say he's done, how many races? About 5 races, 6 races?
This is his 7th race.
Is it his 7th race in Thursday? So he has definitely made a mark right away that he's like at least a podium contender quite often. So, and he's been quite consistent as well, managing to keep up there and get as many points as possible. So yeah, it is, especially with getting a 3rd place in quite a few races, he has done quite well, I would say.
as he makes his way out of the pit lane. Of course, this is one of those tracks where the pit exit is quite long. You cut a few corners here, and a few weeks ago we saw Max Verstappen thinking he was, as well as in Abu Dhabi, thinking he was on a motorbike and he could lane split.
I mean, in all honesty, it's not exactly against the rules at the time, which, to be fair, I was kind of on his side in that sort of situation.
Have you seen they banned it now for next season?
See, I disagree with that, because, like, look at, like in Abu Dhabi, that was, he had the right there. Everyone was going slow past the safety car lines, like, the first exit bit. So, hey, if they're not speeding up, then
yeah,
I'm on his side on that, as much as I hate to say it.
I kind of think in qualifying, in practice, there should be like a secondary pit limiter coming out of the pits, so you can't do it. You know what I mean? You've got to stick to that speed limit. Whether, you know, obviously it's like 80 kilometres an hour in the pits, maybe it's 150 kilometres an hour at pit exit, but then obviously can't be trundling down the pit exit as Banter Brandon makes his way down the Retta Apposta and into Decido Lago.
This is going to be his one and done.
Yeah, one shot qualifying for Banter Brandon. Welcome everyone who is joining us for the end of this Q1 session. Make sure you stick around for this championship decider between Paul Jones, who's sitting in third place right now on the leaderboard, and Matthews down in 11th, who retired early on and is gambling, really is gambling now. I feel like he's actually driving in Las Vegas. It's such a big gamble on getting through into Q2. So make sure you stick around. Come back if you don't want to watch the full way through qualifying. We'll be getting going for the race at around 9 o'clock UK time, about 10 to 9, something like that. Make sure you join back to watch the 36 lap race as Banter Brandon makes his way to the line and goes 5th fastest. Super Striker now crosses the line, goes 11th fastest. Matthew, his dad saying he's fine. Not just yet. As
Bowden.
He is safe, and by the skin of his teeth, it really is. And here comes GT Ord coming up the hill in that limited edition Ferrari livery.
Kind of reminds me of the Ferrari that when Raikkonen was at
Ferrari. Like even a 2016-17 Ferrari, it kind of looks like. GT Ord starting on the last row of the grid, and will be the only driver starting on that last row. We've got 19 of 20, unless we have one more latecomer. But yeah, for right now, he'll be starting 19th and last. Pern Bowden out again in Q1. Prof is going to be out as well as Danny. Gamer just gets through along with Matthew, and they really both did just get through. Danny was knocked out by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, but was quite tense there for Matthew coming into at the end there with the early retirement deciding that he'll risk it. But of course we've got Prodigy there, who got the fastest lap in Q1. He set that quite early with a 108.279. Just behind him was Bugatti Sloven, and then 7,000ths of a second between Bugatti and Paul Jones in third, and then nice job, mate, just to follow in suit. Just right behind that, then it was Banter Brandon, Pipple, Kennedy, Lee, Chuck, Matty Jones, Ake, Super Striker, Chuckle, Royal Rumble, Matthew, and Coyotes Gamer. The top 15 will be moving on to the next stage of qualifying. Unfortunately, Danny, Prof, Pern Bowden, and GT Ord will be eliminated and will be starting in their respective places of 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. So, on to the second of 3 qualifying sessions, where the top 15 are going to battle it out to get through to Q3.
Bear with me 1 second, Lee. I've lost my phone. Give me a sec.
Jesus Christ, you always lose something. Honestly. This guy.
It's right, I found it. I was sat on it.
Oh my God.
That was easy, wasn't it? I just stood up and it was there. It was like magic. We're now down to 15 drivers, 15 minutes, and we'll have 5 drivers knocked out of this session. So lovely comment by Basin there. He is right, but yeah, a bit on the nose with that comment.
I was thinking something along the lines of that. Maybe they were in his throat at the time. So bit of a panicky moment, I would say, but we're starting to see a bit more of the drivers get out on the track. Matthew, first one out. I would say it's quite a common occurrence for him to get out as quick as possible.
So yeah, a lot of drivers out very, very quickly and wanting to get on with it. Could there be rain on the way? The clouds, the sky doesn't indicate there's any cloud cover at all, really. But obviously it can come in quite quickly. But yeah, all getting on with it right now. We've got 9 drivers, is that on the circuit already?
Yeah, I think so.
Matthew already started his first lap. Driver sitting in second in the championship right now as he makes his way around the Curva de Sol and on his way down the Retro Posta towards the Cida del Lago. And we end that first sector with a 16.9 as he goes through turns 4 and 5 and up towards Ferragula. Turn 6, turn 7 into turn 8. And he invalidates his lap time. So just pushing the boundaries a bit too much there, Lee, on track limits. It's Pippo Kennedy who's decided that Williams is going to be a lawnmower on the exit of Juncal.
Yep, and you have to be careful at that corner, as if you throw it too much to the left-hand side on the grass, it does actually reset you right on the racing line, which I do say is a bit of a problem with these games, as it's happened for quite a few years. So of course, they're going to have to be a little bit careful if they end up seeing a car going off. But seeing Chuckle just put in the banker time for everyone at 108.989. So that's the time for everyone to beat right now. Royal Rumble, a wee bit off. Prodigy though was 0.2 quicker with 108.7.
RTG Lee in 4th place right now. Not really had the consistency pace like his teammates. It showed in the Constructors' Championship, but maybe Lee can aid his teammate this evening for the championship. Maybe he's going to sacrifice his race, go a little bit longer and try and hold up Matthew. But likewise, Chuck could do the same, and Chuck usually is up there in the fight as well. So it's something for Paul Jones to potentially have an issue with here. And I assume that the other drivers, personally I would be, Lee, not wanting to get involved with those two too much tonight. You don't really want to be the one quitting the game this evening, knowing that you took out one of the championship contenders. I wouldn't really want to go to bed thinking that I've potentially, not ruined, not the right word, but been an impact in this 10 race season that they've been fighting so hard for this championship. So maybe some drivers might go a little bit lighter on them. If I know you, though, Lee, you'll say that you wouldn't.
No, because, well, at the end of the day, they're all racers out there that all want that as close to that top step as possible. So, and even at that, I don't think the two would be particularly happy. Well, especially Matthew in this case, with him trying to catch at the moment, as him being 10 points behind. I don't think he would be particularly happy, to be honest.
No, but I'm not saying lift off and let them go by. I mean, just maybe don't defend to the inside. Maybe just leave the door open for them and they can make the choice. That's kind of what more I'm insinuating rather than obviously just letting them go by.
Nah.
There you go. That's you're in the mind of Lee, ladies and gentlemen, as we go around turn number 9 and into turn 10, which is a very tricky corner. One of the corners that you really need to get right here, because you've got this long left-hander of turn 11.
Yep, remember Lewis not being able to get that right a couple of years ago.
Any chance to get a dig, ladies and gents? Any chance to get a dig? As he goes around the final corner, across the DRS, up to the line, in Q2, goes provisionally fastest, and will be building up the confidence this evening. And regardless of where these two go as well, they told me at the end of the race when we have interviews that they will both come in for a chat, whether they're on the podium or not. Hopefully, even if they crashed out and had a bit of time to calm down, hopefully we'll still get a chat with them. Nice job, mate, making his way into turn 5, turn 6, and hits the wall, and the corner, the curb, just chewed him and spat him back out again. There is he. Now he's got to go back to the garage and get himself a new nose.
Yeah, we'll say that is always quite heartbreaking when that happens, especially with him having no time at the moment. It does
plenty of time to go though.
Oh yeah, true. But then that will be them tyres a wee bit less grippy come his next lap.
Here comes Banter Brandon. Go on.
Oh, looked like he was the tail end just snapped to him there. It looked like the tail end was starting to just slip out a little there as he was coming downhill into turn 2 there. Super Striker on a lap. Also, Bugatti Sullivan's just started a lap. Prodigy just coming around turn 5 there. But yeah, Brandon is going to be the first one out of this bunch that's going to be setting a lap. He's just coming around to the end of sector 2 now, and like Joe said earlier on, this corner, one of the most important on the track, and he kind of fluffed it there at the apex.
Yeah, he was. It was almost like I was watching Dancing on Ice there. He was skating across the apex of Young Cow.
Yep, but still good enough to get him into 5th place there. I reckon that could have been up another couple of places if he didn't fluff it up. Prodigy there though with a 108.171, nearly getting into the 107s there, and going almost 5/10 quicker than Super Striker.
Yeah, the South African feeling quite comfortable in qualifying so far. Always has a electrifying pace in qualifying. Races let him down though. Consistency, gets involved in too many scraps, whether it's his fault or not, and just kind of let him down really. Hopefully he'll have a better run of it next season, which is starting next week. Actually, we're going to have a season 14, no gap between season 13 and 14. So looking forward to that. We'll be back on Monday. We're still going to have the 2 days running, no Wednesdays as of yet. And we'll have Mondays and Thursdays. Me and Lee, as usual, you have us on Thursdays, and it'll be a rotation between me and Lee on the Monday, doing it solo, as Short Marcus is going to have to take a break from commentating on RTG TV. And thank you from me anyway for Marcus bringing us some great commentating on Mondays as well. So he will be missed in season 14, that's for sure. Is Bugatti just making his way back to the pits, I think. Not at full throttle. His teammate, however, looking like he's ragging that Alpha Tauri into turn 8.
Yep, I think we're getting down to the end of the calm bit of the session here. But nice job, just started the lap Royal Rumble. Is he going to finish his lap here? I don't think he is. I think he's just going to run it back into the pits. I would say that would be his best thing to do. No, yeah, he's going to go straight to the line here. Goes 7th with a 108.810.
Matthew Jones now as well, making his way out onto the circuit where the track is a little bit quiet right now. Only nice job, mate, on a flying lap right now in the MoneyGram Haas as he makes his way into Pico de Pato. Through the left-hander of turn 12 into Young Cow. The corner where the front end feels like it's not connected to the steering wheel sometimes, as we saw with Banter Brandon, who's sitting in 8th and will have to go faster. Nice job, mate. Cutting the track is humanly possible there at the pit entry and goes on to the front row in Q2 with a 108.3. No one breaking the 107s just yet. As I said before, in Q1, it's a 107.897 is the pole lap from Monday's 5th round this season. We haven't had anyone break the 107s just yet, and that was set by Prodigy. Anyone that's joined us since we've been streaming. Matthew going around Curva de Sol. Got a little bit of traffic coming out of the pit lane here, all staying to the left-hand side, right-hand side of your screen as he comes in to Desida de Lago, through turn 6, up the hill to Ferrajula.
Oh, Chuck's round. Chuck's doing donuts at turn 2 there.
At the exit of the Senna S as he was facing the wrong way. Now got himself back on track. I'm just going to wait to see the clock. 2.5 minutes. He's got enough time to start another lap. So is Matty Jones, but I think this might be his final lap. He's half a second up on his time. There you go. Seesawing at the wheel on the exit of Young Cow as he makes his way through turn 15 there. Whoa, did he use a little bit too much curb there, Lee? And now, turn 14, sorry, that was. And then through turn 15, up to the line. He goes 9th. Just having a look at his steering wheel. If you look at top right, 1.4 laps of fuel. So he's 0.4 over on fuel right now. And I think that could be his final attempt. And I'm not sure if that's going to be good enough to get himself in to Q3. And we've got drivers in the bottom 5, Lee, that we're not used to seeing in the bottom 5 right now.
Yeah, of course, we'll have got to count for, I would say, some sort of track evolution as well. We're seeing nearly everyone in the top 15 here in the 108s. It's only RTG Lee right now who's in the 109s. He's sitting in 15th at the moment. Chuckle, though, he's just about to finish his lap. I think there's a Haas just before him, so that'll be quite scary. Chuckle getting a drag to the line.
Wow, that was very helpful there. Who was that? It must have been Matty Jones, that had done that there. Yeah. Friendly with one another, I think that was, as Matthew now makes his way towards the line. This will be his final lap in Q2. Will he get through? He goes up into 4th. It's looking like that could be all right, but it's so close, and the track evolution has been ramping up as Paul Jones goes to 2nd right now. Aki makes his way to the line to start his final attempt. Chuck, I think, just about to start a final attempt as well as he makes his way to the line. He invalidated the lap before, so he's going for one more attempt. The checkered flag surely going to be out any second now.
Matty Jones is out.
Yeah, so as I said, didn't look like it was going to be good enough. He's almost stuck. Is he stuck?
He's out.
I think he's beached himself there, Lee.
Oh no, he's going to get disqualified.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. If he gets disqualified, he's going to jump down to
15th.
Is he going to jump down to 15th? I'm not too sure.
Yep.
Checker flag is out. Chuckle is in 10th right now. And not on a lap, Lee. The current champion is on the cusp of being out. Here comes Aki. Is he going to save himself? Is he going to get into the final Q3 of season 13? No, he's going to start 13th as Chuck makes his way to the line. Is it brotherly love or is it sibling rivalry? I think it could be a bit of brotherly love there from RTG Chuckle.
I think Chuck was just, he never had the fuel with him buggering up his previous lap at turn 2. So unfortunately he wasn't able to get the lap in that he needed on the second run.
So I believe.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate there for Matty Jones there. I would say that is what I would call bull honky.
Yeah.
Just more.
Should have retired. That lesson learnt. I think the admins would probably rather you retire than that happen.
Yeah, or at very least just wait for a clean space, maybe reset. But even then, Prodigy getting the fastest lap there, not far off a 107 there with a 108.171. We're getting closer and closer to getting into the 107s. Banter Brandon in second place, less than a tenth behind. Paul Jones in third. Fourth was nice job, mate. Matthew in fifth. Bibble Kennedy sixth. Super Striker seventh. Coyotes Gamer eighth. Ninth Bugatti and 10th was Chuckle, just managing to make it through there. A wee bit lucky there at the end. Royal Rumble, Chuck, Ake, Lee and Matty Jones will all be starting in their respective places come the rest of 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th. Matty Jones are unfortunately been bumped down 4 places at the very least after being disqualified after getting the car beached, which I will say is a bit of a nightmare in this game, and it is a bit bad how it punishes you.
It's certainly unfair that you get disqualified. I kind of like the fact that you can get beached. It's quite realistic. You can get beached. You can get beached in gravel. You can get beached on long grass. It can happen. But being disqualified, that wouldn't happen if we're in a real world situation. Obviously not sat in our living rooms, bedrooms, etc., spare rooms, playing on a computer game. But it should be as realistic as we can possibly get it. So drivers now coming out nice and early, Lee. We're not at a track like Vegas, Saudi Arabia, Belgium. We don't have to be going out super early. It's quite a short track, one of the shortest on the calendar, but drivers just wanting to get their eye in, get a lap in nice and early, and then have a time to just have a drink, just a little bit of mental time ready for their final run.
Yeah, but would you say it'd be possible to do 3 laps here? If you're quick enough? Or will that be kind of...
Do they have the tyres to do that, though? Because if you've got a U set, you kind of just...
I mean, it is always handy to just maybe jump on an old set just for the first lap, I would say, but...
Not if you've got 2 fresh sets.
Oh, yeah, of course, but then again, you might be wanting to save a set for the rest, as we know that they will always get another set that they would use for the race in qualifying.
That's sometimes where it comes in handy that you use a medium set in like Q1 to try and get through. Then you have that kind of extra set leading on to Q3. But if you start with the softs, unless you kind of get strategic with it, use a new set for Q1, then use that old set for Q2, maybe one more fresh set at the end of Q2, and then you might have 3 sets then at the end. But of course, you can change what tyres you have at the start of qualifying. You could have a set of hard, set of mediums, 2 sets of softs, a set of mediums, 3 softs, but you do get that extra set at the end, or you can just go for all red banded tyres for qualifying and really go aggressive. And we'll see if Matthew's going super aggressive on his first lap. got to get this one right to build the confidence for that final lap. Got to get a lap in, keep within track limits, get a decent time under your belt. Don't miss any braking points. Get on the throttle as easy and as quickly as possible. As he goes into Young Cal, got a driver behind him. He's going to set the benchmark for the other 9. As Prodigy, I think, yeah, Prodigy is just behind him, the driver who's been on top in the last 2 qualifying sessions. He would be the one you put your money on for pole right now. 108.5 for Matthew, seemed faster in Q2. 108.2, not as fast as his Q2 time just yet. Super Striker with a 108.7. And who do we have up next? I think it's the AlphaTauri of Bugatti Slovan. Oh no, sorry, before that was Pippo Kennedy. He goes on to provisional pole. 108.6 for Bugatti. And close. Pippo's kind of come from nowhere there with a really good lap as Paul Jones comes to the line, goes on to provisional pole with a 108.186. Of course, can get that point for pole in RTG. It will take him 1 step closer to the title. He'll have 11-point lead when we go in to the race. Of course, vice versa. If Matthew gets the point, it'll be a 9-point gap. And that's something I think Matthew will really want to get, is that pole, just to bring that points gap down, even though it's by 1, but it can make a bit of a difference. It can make a difference between somewhere like 8th and 9th, Lee, when we come to the end of the race at about 9:15 tonight.
Yeah, every point does count, especially at this such a late stage, and how close the standings are right now. So it is going to be right down to the wire here, I reckon.
Yeah, it certainly will do. We may see these two fight in the race, wheel to wheel. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we get to see that. We might not, but they might be having battles with other people. Banter Brandon has said, a driver that's been so consistent since he's joined RTG. He's, apologies, my screen's just gone black. That's very strange. Come back again. That was very strange. Apologies for that. If you did all still see the stream or not, if it did go black for you guys, apologies. Yeah, Banter Brandon may cause a bit of a headache for the championship protagonists, because he's just been involved with those two and others who have been right up there in races. So be another driver to consider whether to fight too much, and of course it's just going to have to be so measured. So just going to have your wits about you when we go into the race. You know, whether to go for that lunge, whether to hold back, wait a little bit longer. Luckily, there are a few places here at Interlagos where you can overtake. Turn 1, turn 4, down the end of the Retro-Aposta here, Decido del Lago. Turn 7 as well. You can have a go there when we come out of turn 5 and up towards turn 6. And Young Cal as well. Another place you sometimes see it happen, but the detection point for the DRS is a couple of 100 meters after Young Cal, so don't always see it, because you'll just see them fly back past you into turn 1. But the one thing I do like about this circuit, Lee, you get two detection points, which I think makes the racing so much better than having just the one.
Yeah, unlike Canada and Mexico, I will say, they do kind of suck, I will say. In that sort of sense, unless you're the car behind and you just like right behind, it does work in your favour in that sense.
So here we go, ladies and gents. Lee's favourite catchphrase in Q3. It's now the calm before the storm, and hopefully we will really have. Hopefully we'll have a whirlwind storm. At the end of this Q3 session. Paul, is the adrenaline starting to pump for him now on provisional pole right now? It's really his to lose right now, the pole position. But Prodigy, obviously when we get to the end of these sessions, has ended up on top, so he's going to be confident as well that he can get up there. Bugatti Slovan now coming down the Retro-Aposta into Decido del Lago and deals with that rather nicely, unlike his teammate did. in the Q2 session as he makes his way into Ferrajula. And was quite confident on the throttle pedal by the sounds of things there as he makes his way through the hairpin of turn 9 down to Pico de Pato, turn 10.
Yep, I will say he's using up as much of that track as possible and trying to extract as much pace as he can. Sort of missing the apex a little there though. Of course, you don't want to be jumping on that curb, as we'll know, as we've seen in the past here, as it can unsettle the car with being so high. But coming to the line, he goes 6th with a 108.308, just 0.003 of a second behind Banter Brandon.
And he hasn't got the fuel on board, so I think he's decided he wanted to go it alone on the circuit and get his final lap in with no one to bother him. Of course, at this stage though, unless you invalidate, we're not going to see anyone being held up in traffic now, because they're all going to come out together. They're going to be coming out in the next minute or so. I said this one, the tracks, I think this is second shortest lap time of the year, after Austria, where we were at the first round of the season. So we could see them as late coming out is about, the end of the pit lane in about, what would we say, about 1:45 to go, something like that. Obviously, you don't want to push too hard on your out lap. You don't want to use up that tyre. Just get them warmed up and get on with it, really.
Yep, well, saying that, we're seeing Chuckle and then Pippo Kennedy now out on track. So, and, well, Chuckle anyway is taking it quite slow, making sure to save them tyres up. And, looks like he's trying to burn off some fuel as well.
Yeah, another thing about the circuit as well, the game at a minimum will let you have 5 kilos of fuel. They run in kilos because altitudes can change the density of fuel in litres and the measurement of litres, so they use the weight in kilos. So that's why we use kilos and not litres. Don't know if Lee knew that. Did you know that, Lee?
No, but wouldn't it be, if it's like hotter, wouldn't it be heavier?
No, I'm not sure. I know that an engine and fuel on a cold day, you get a little bit more fuel for your money, and engines do run better in colder weathers. But I'm talking about, my Skoda, so that's out the front of my house, not a Formula One car or any kind of racing car, which obviously usually are on sort of a life support system before they go out on circuit. A driver who's on the circuit now and on a flyer is the Williams of Pippo Kennedy, the Jamaican, having a decent season, taking an unorthodox line there, Lee, through Curva de Sol as he makes his way down the rest of Apostle, almost going to the left-hand side like he was exiting the pit lanes. He goes in to Cesar Lago, out of that corner or complex of corners, the 2 left-handers, and into the double right of Ferrajula, before hitting the anchors for turn 8, which is also a very tricky corner. Not a lot of corners here, short track, but it is a roller coaster. It is difficult, as you can see with the rear end of that Williams struggling on the exit. Matthew has retired. In the pit lane, Lee.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he'd already gone. We've got Chuckle going slowly. We're getting right to the crunch time here of Q3. There's Chuckle just getting out of the way. We've got 20 seconds left on the clock. Pippo Kennedy goes on to provisional pole with a 108.105. I think that's the quickest time today. We haven't got into the 108 zeros or the 107s yet, but I think that's the lowest 108.1 so far. 107.854. That is faster than our qualifying pole time in the Monday tier. And as we've got people in the comments, Kyle saying, why has he retired in terms of Matthew? Why is he retired? Not too sure why he's retired. It's a little bit strange here as we see Paul Jones going through Yonkau. He's just over a 10th up on his time. He's going to see the checkered flag for the final time in qualifying in season 13. Is he going to be on pole? Is he going to get onto provisional pole for the time being? No, he goes onto the front row, gets into the 107s. Banter Brandon just behind him. Looks like he got a bit of a toe. Gets on to provisional pole. We've got Nice Job Mates making his way to the line, and he stays fifth. I believe that is it. I don't think, no, Prodigy's not on another lap. Chuckle isn't on a lap. Banter Brandon takes the extra point in the final round. Paul Jones is going to be starting on the second row in third place, and Matthew is starting on the fifth row down in ninth. This man has got some work to do.
Yep, he certainly has got quite a bit of work to do. Seen some comments from Kyle. They're saying, why is he retired again? Ginge said, yeah, bottled it. And Johnson, Camden, he's just saving it for the race, mate. Well, we'll find out if he is saving it for the race in just a few short moments. I'm just waiting for Purple Candy getting wheeled in, and there we go. And we're going to have a final rundown of the third and final qualifying session, where Banter Brandon has took pole by just over 200ths of a second. Nice job from him there, pulling that out of the bag at the end, and same with Prodigy just behind him. And then Paul Jones, all three of them, only people in the 107s. So, yeah, Paul Jones gets that third place, Pippo Kennedy in fourth. Nice job, mate, fifth. Bugatti Sloven sixth. Cletics Gamer seventh. Super Striker eighth. Matthew, unfortunately, not having the best Q3, is down in ninth, and Chuckle still a bit rusty after his holiday. Need to get a bit more practice, and he's starting down in 10th.
So a little bit of conversation going on in the live chat right now. It's starting to get a little competitive between spectators watching the race. Got a long way to go, guys. 36 laps that we will be racing around this Interlagos circuit. And we have got rain. Yep. It's going to be a wet start. Is it going to be a mixed conditions in the race, or are we going to see the heavens open for the entire race? The game, I think, knowing this is the final race, Lee, and just grabbing the grenades, chucking it over the wall and going, have that.
Yeah. So, not seen any slick tyres today, as we kind of suspect.
Well, we're looking at intermediates, aren't we? For the start of the race.
Yep, it's all going to be intermediates. No rain. Well, full wets yet, but we could see that all change even as soon as like lap 2. Well, we've all seen how quickly the weather can change. So
it's certainly one thing we do see a lot in not just this iteration of F1. But in others as well, we've seen in the past. If it dries up, it dries up extremely quickly. And we've had someone ready up early. We've got a championship fight on our way. Who's going to be crowned champion? 5 red lights, and we're away for the finale of season 13 in Brazil. Banter Brandon not getting the best of starts here. A lot of wheel spin. Prodigy is going to be on the inside, but a bit too far back. Paul Jones trying to go around the outside of the Red Bull. Has the inside line for the second part of the CRS. And now Prodigy goes off the road at Curva de Sol. He moves up into second place. And we go now down towards Decido de Lago. In the background there, we've got a Haas of Nice Job Mate looking up the inside of the South African as they go in to turn 4. Prodigy again going off the road, going to have to concede a place. Matthew's already moved up into 7th place as we go up towards Ferragula into the right-hander. Drivers getting very, very close in the background. Matthew now moving up another place, started 9th up to 6th in 6 corners as we now go around turn 9, the hairpin, the left-hander, before we get to Turn 10, Pico de Pato up the inside, goes Matthew, going aggressive, all or nothing from the Aston Martin driver, moves up and gets past the Jamaican of Pippo Kennedy, down towards Young Cow, and Banter Brandon already has a second and a half lead on the championship leader right now, but he doesn't need to win, he needs to get himself a healthy amount of points, and crucially, finish ahead of this man we're riding on board with, Matthew, as we go on to the second lap. Kept lovely and cleanly on the first lap, and Matthew showing absolutely what he's made of.
Well, then again, you say nice and clean. It looks like Danny possibly received damage. I'm riding on board with him now as he's in the pits. We'll see if he's going to have a wing change. And yep, he does. So it looks like he received damage.
And we got
McLaren.
Yeah, Aki's out already. Is that going to be a safety car? Is it a VSC? We usually get to know late. And I think if it's a VSC, I think.
Is it?
Oh, it's Danny there. Tokyo drifting it out of the pit lane, getting the rear tyres warmed up nicely. But yeah, it's have a breath, Lee. We've got a VSC right now.
Yeah, and I will say Matthew is on the warpath right now.
And that was a quick VSC. Or are we still under VSC? No, we're still under VSC. No, that's it. And Paul Jones, struggling to get the rear tyres lit up out of turn 10. Pico de Pato as we go through Young Cow. Paul Jones going rather wide there, and it might be vulnerable to a move into turn 1 from the Haas driver of nice job, mate. Prodigy trying to claw back some time. There's the Aston Martin in the background. He can see his championship rival ahead of him. Nice job, mate. Now moves up and moves up to second place and was on the inside there, going into the Senna S. Paul Jones now moves down to third. Remember, crucially, he needs to beat Matthew on the road to guarantee the championship. And he is there right now, but he's losing places with Prodigy now right on his gearbox. As we go slightly further back, Koitz Gamer down to 8th now. And I think we've had a bit of a jumble in the order. And we've seen GC Order, actually, Lee, up 6 places. Now 5, actually, commentator's curse going on right now as he's going side by side. Up 6 places again as he went around the outside at Deciso de Largo.
Yeah, I did notice there, just there, the Chuckle brothers both came into the pits there for front wing damage, so whether that was colliding GTR into the wall there. Did he get damage? I don't think he did.
Where's he there? Turn 9? Is he there? I believe so. Yeah, turn 9.
He's to turn 9.
And he's got Danny bearing down on him now after that spin. He shouldn't be too far behind him once he gets himself back underway with the momentum, obviously going through turn 9 as well. For Danny, he'll gain a huge amount of time there. Banter Brandon going faster and faster, getting further and further away from the drivers here, fighting for the final podium places right now. We're only on lap 4 though, so I need to calm down, and we've got a long way to go. Prodigy sticking right to the back of that red, white and green Alfa Romeo rear wing. Matthew had a great start, Lee. What's he going to do now? Is he going to bide his time? He looked up the inside there, but it's such a risk. Such a risk going for a move at Ferragula. Much more of a risk in these damp conditions.
Yep, I will say any move in this sort of weather is kind of dangerous, but then again, if there's a gap and you don't go for it, then you may as well just hang up the gloves. But we're seeing Prodigy right close to the back of that Alfa Romeo of Paul Jones, and this lot all battle now is going to be happiness to Matthew here, who's still following quite close. Banter Brandon though is managing to create a different distance ahead, just over 4 seconds there.
Yeah, just setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Here goes the Red Bull driver up the inside, like nice job did a couple of laps ago, and now he's up into third place. Paul Jones is off the podium now. And guess what, ladies and gents? He's got his championship rival right behind him. This is the fight that he needs to fight now. I think he's just been keeping his nose clean, getting out of fights that he doesn't need to get involved in. Too much high risk at the start of the race. But now, elbows out. That 2 metre wide Formula One car needs to become a 4 metre wide Formula One car as they go through Ferragula into the right-hander of turn 8.
Just having a look further back here. It looks like Matty Jones is going to be trying to line up a move, possibly going into turn 1. As he's getting closer and closer to Lee as down into turn 10 just there.
And still, Banter Brandon set fastest lap after fastest lap. Is this going to be another fastest lap? Oh, yes, it is. He's really in the groove. That Alpine on absolute rails right now. Here go second and third fighting each other into turn 1. Prodigy moving up into second place. Oh, here we go, Lee. Yeah, here we go, Lee. Matthew on the inside here. Is he going to go for it? Not just yet. These two have got a lot of respect for each other. As we heard from the interviews last week, wished each other luck after we bowed out and went away after round 9 in Saudi Arabia. Both had a fabulous race. It was a great finish. It was a photo finish between Banterman. Apologies, can't remember the other driver. Paul Jones makes an error on the exit at turn 9. That is not what he needed. If it stayed like this, Paul Jones would still be winning the championship. It's not over just yet, but this is a place what Paul Jones didn't want to be in so early on. We're about to go on to lap 7. We're going to have 30 laps to go. We've got a yellow flag. That looks like Matty Jones, is it? No, it was a Ferrari, I think of... No, it wasn't a Ferrari, sorry. It was, not too sure. It was a red car there as Prof now moves up to 10th place. Up 7 places. Matty Jones up 6 places. But yes, ladies and gents, if it stayed like this, Paul Jones would still be champion. We'll keep you updated most laps on what's going on between these two, because that's what most of you tuned in for this evening. Oh, Prof getting the tail end out there at Decides Largo, turn 4, 5. As they make their way into turn 6, 7, he's lost a place to RTG Lee, who's now up into the top 10. Super Striker on the inside at Decides Largo, and he's now moved up to 14th. So the gap around a second now between Matthew and Paul Jones, but equally between Nice Jobby and Matthew, it's a second, and Matthew needs to move up places. And I believe right now, Paul Jones will be getting 16 points. And I believe if he's in 5th place and Matthew gets up and wins the race, Matthew would be champion. So this is good for Matthew in terms of Paul Jones, but in terms of where Matthew needs to finish for himself, not looking so good right now. Needs to be gaining time. As I said, Banter Brandon, I thought he was going to cause a headache, and almost turning into a migraine already, Lee, with 5.5 second lead over second place right now. And it is 7.5 seconds to Matthew, where he needs to be finishing where Paul Jones is right now.
Yeah, he's going to have to do as much as he can, of course. There is plenty of time left in this race. We've still got about 28 laps of racing still to go. So it's still plenty of time for everything to change up. Oh, nice job, mate. Fighting the car on the exit of Lone Crowder. And this is going to leave him vulnerable to Matthew here. Going to turn one possibly if he could get close enough. It doesn't look like he can.
Obviously, you don't have the aid of the DRS in wet conditions. It's just slipstream. It's just traction on exits. And Junkel, a very important corner, but so much more important in the dry, just like Curva de Sol, as they've exited that down the Retta Aposta, and he's staying tucked behind third place. But he needs to move up. He needs to take risks, because at this point, it's all or nothing right now. Even though we're only on lap 9, we're just getting into third race distance in a few laps. But and also, crucially, they can't afford to get any time penalties. Keep it between those white lines, at least one wheel. You can get yourself a couple of warnings. But after those 2 warnings, we're into 3-second time penalty territories. And of course, pit lane entries as well. There's the first 3-second time penalty from Perm Bowden, who, I hope he doesn't mind me saying, hasn't had the greatest of seasons. Hopefully, when he's more used to running no assists, getting into season 14, his results will show from that, as Matthew actually losing time to Nice Job Mate, who has got about twice as much battery as the Aston Martin driver, and another crucial element in the race, and not making mistakes like that. Matthew, 1 down, 2 to go.
No, he's got a 2.5-second gap to get the Prodigy now, and of course not having the best of battery there right now, it's not going to be exactly working in his favour for the time being. He's just going to have to hope and pray that things don't go the way of Paul Jones. Martin here pull up a second of a gap on Nice Job Mate, who's struggling with that car.
Apologies, I was on mute. Apologies.
All good. But yeah, Nice Job Mate struggling to get traction there, coming back onto the start finish straight after one kill. Again, for the second time, he's definitely feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like Paul Jones has managed to catch right up there.
Yeah, this is good for Paul. Getting up into 4th place, he would get himself 18 points. That would then leave them tied. We haven't worked out. Aki's out of the race. Maybe me or you, in a few laps' time, Lee, can give Aki a message, get him to find out how many wins they've both got, and we'll do count back from there. That would decide them being champions. I believe that happened last season, Lee, with Short Marcus. Actually, we did count back for Wednesday, I think it was, because it was so. No, we didn't actually, did we? It didn't end like that. But the penultimate race, we worked out that he would win on count back, safety car deployed.
Oh, who that? Been that?
No one is out.
Huh?
No one has retired since Aki on that second lap. Would have put a smile on this man's face. Matthew had a lot of time to make up. The top 2 comes in, the top 3 come in. I think they must all come in now. Surely. Nice job making himself a 5-second penalty. Look at that, Paul Jones going very slowly into the pits, absolutely making sure he didn't get himself a 5-second time penalty. Another fresh set of intermediates. Another 5-second penalty there for the Red Bull driver of Massey Jones as they exit the pits. Bugatti stayed out, Lee, and will be leading us away when we get going again, looking like in a couple of laps' time. Chuckle time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, that is got to frustrate the reigning champion. who will be losing that title in around 30 minutes' time, unfortunately for him.
Right, so I've went and had a wee count back there.
Have you considered sprints just before I get you to? Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I've went and calculated it up, and it appears that Paul has got 3 wins under his belt, which is Australia, Belgium, and Canada. Or Austria, I don't know, they're both. Both of them
First race was Austria.
Alright, well, it's Austria, Belgium, and Canada. And then. But I'm confused. How has he got 37 points?
Sprints.
Yeah, no, Matthew's got 37 points for that race. I'm just confused.
Poles are points, fastest laps are points, remember. Got to take that into consideration.
Yes,
Lee will get back to us. Yeah, Lee will get back to us in a second with that and to make sure it's, because you don't want to give misinformation. That would be very embarrassing if we announce a champion on stream without talking to our pins. Obviously, whenever we do announce things like that, it's not fully official. Have to wait for stewards reports to come in, and then it is official. But it usually, more than likely, is the case. So we usually say it, but obviously take it with a pinch of salt, because things can change backstage.
I think there could be possibly drawing in terms of wins at this stage.
Then we go to seconds, don't we? Then we go to seconds, and then we go to thirds.
And that's where it gets more confusing for me.
Yes.
So yeah. Oh no, wait there, I just noticed something there. Bugatti Sloven and Chuck, the only 2 not, but assuming GT Ord is still catching up at the moment.
Well, we still don't know whether this is mixed conditions. We don't know. If Aki, I'm not sure if you're watching the stream, but if you are, please let us know if it's going to try it, potentially if it's said that. Obviously, I know the game has a mind of its own, so it might not, but if you're watching, let us know. So, doing another lap. It looks like we're going to get going on lap 15. Lee's busy doing some calculations right now, trying to work out if it ends. Like I said, if Matthew wins and Paul Jones gets 4th, they'll be tied on points, unless one of them gets the fastest lap, of course. So the pole position's out of the bag, out of the running, sorry, because Banter Brandon's already got that in the bag. There you go, that's the right way to do it. So we've only got fastest lap that we can add into this, and obviously we won't know that till the end. Banter Brandon got that right now as well after his first few laps of deciding he wanted to do some quali laps in the rain with around 50 kilos of fuel on board. Whoa, Matthew!
Oh, Paul Jones has got a wing.
Oh no. No. This has gone horribly wrong.
Wait, who was that? Oh no, it was Prodigy that's got wing damage.
Oh my days, I'm not sure what happened there. That's clumsy. It's moved Matthew into 3rd as well, and net 2nd right now, because Bugatti hasn't stopped. Yes, we don't have to stop in wet conditions. That's not something that has to happen. But as we've seen in F123, if you're on used tyres against fresh sets, you're kind of you're going to be like a snail, really. I have to admit, there's more drivers changing places. A lot of confusion going on. People are not forgetting, should I say, on how a safety car works. And the safety car is in this lap. So this is how it works. Bugatti is going to dictate the pace all the way to that start-finish line. He can't pass the safety car, though. He's got to wait for him to go into the pits, which he has to now. He's free to hit that right pedal when he likes. And I think he has done it now. And not full Banter Brandon either, as Prodigy comes into the pit. Banter Brandon goes up the inside on Bugatti. Bugatti now into second place. Matthew, got to get past him as quickly as possible. As we know, Banter has been flying in these conditions, super comfortable. He looks up the inside here. Got a nice job, mate, getting involved as well. Goes up the inside into Cedar de Largo. So does Nice Job Mates. He tries to go at the inside as well. Bugatti goes off the road. Paul Jones now into fourth place. This is the place where we said they'll be tied on points if Matthew moves up one more place. We've got Bugatti who's fallen all the way down to 16th. GC Ord is out. And we've got a virtual safety car deployed. Drivers not liking these intermediate conditions. Luckily, no safety car again. This will be for a short period. But, it's kicking off under safety cars. It's kicking off when we get restarted. Hopefully, we'll have a clean getaway after this VSC. Matthew's got to stick to his Delta as tightly as he can. You've got a ETA on certain points of the track. And now it's been upgraded to another safety car. Apologies, ladies and gents.
Not feeling.
Yeah, got another little break now. Laps being taken out. If this is mixed conditions, the slick tyres might be put on a bit earlier than they were expecting in terms of laps. Nice job, mate. Makes his way into the pitch, gets himself a 5-second penalty for the privilege as well for speeding in at the entry line.
God's sake, it is always quite a gutter when that happens. To be honest, it's safety car, and then you get that on top of it. You're just
the thing I think is, why just slow down a little bit more? Even if you lose 1 or 2 seconds, it's much better than losing 5. So much better. Just break that a little bit earlier, take the risk out of it. Yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of time compared to some others who take more risk, but then you lose the odds. Obviously, the odds go down, and you're getting a 5-second penalty when you get to that 80-kilometre speed limit line.
Yeah, I mean, especially like, well, say there's a wet safety car, and well, that's going to kind of bugger you up come the end of the race as well. Everybody's going to be stacked up together, so getting them penalties and then a wet race, it will totally bugger you up completely, and you'll drop many a places, depending on how close everyone is. Safety cars on this game though, pain in the rear end. I will say.
Yeah, they're still too.
Sloven though, on the medium.
Either he's made a mistake or he's thinking it's going to stop raining soon. We've seen this happen this season, whether it was in Wednesdays, obviously we have no more. We have seen drivers previously, Lee, go on to, I'm not sure if you were with us that race, can't remember who did it as well. Someone did it, I think it was Miami, and someone went on the mediums really early, all the softs, and it just cost them so much time, and they were just completely out of the running. Obviously, Bugatti being in last place, he can just pit again if it was a mistake. It's not going to cost him anything. Nice job, mate, as well. Coming into the pits.
Even the red walls, I think.
Wow, medium tyres. Well. We've got a mixed condition race, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure it's going to stop raining. And do you know what, Lee? The weather looks like it's getting lighter, and it's not such heavy rain like it was. Obviously, it was only intermediate conditions. But yeah, I think the weather getting slightly better. And as we said, when it dries, it really does dry quickly. It's within a lap or 2. 3, you're pushing it actually, if it dries within 3 laps.
Yeah, you have got to kind of just hope that it dries up quite quickly. I mean, these guys, it does clear up quite quick, then they've pulled off a blinder then, and they too could look for the possibly even the top step if we get this off right.
So unfortunately, I haven't got the equipment to be able to pull up any sort of my homemade graphics, but we'll keep you updated on Championship just via simple maths, and that's certainly how it's going. Paul Jones right now, if it stays like this, Paul Jones will be winning the championship. If Paul Jones stays here, regardless of what Matthew can do, he will be winning the championship. There is absolutely nothing that Matthew can do with Paul being at this point. But as we've known, with the first 16 laps, obviously we've had some safety cars. 17 laps. We've had some safety cars. Everything can change so quickly within a lap or two. Either of them could be out, could be down the bottom, could be leading. Anything can happen, and especially in mixed conditions, which is what we're looking like we're about to have, and especially in wet conditions, what we've still got right now. Prodigy in the pits, medium tyres for him as well. Driver's absolutely convinced that it's going to dry up within a lap or two. Is this a little bit early, Lee? Because if it stays like these conditions, even for another couple of laps, the intermediate runners are going to be so far down the road that they'll come out ahead when they pit, when it gets dry.
Yeah, well, seeing that way, especially with Prodigy, he's just came out of the pit lane now, so if the track's the way it is, he'll be able to catch up enough. I'm going to stick on board with him as he's just coming around turn 4 right now, and it seems like he's understeering there, going into turn 4 there, but mind you, the tyres will be quite cool at this moment, especially with it being wet out there on the track.
Right, we've had half the race now, gents, ladies and gents. Admittedly, a lot of that has been under caution, under safety car, under yellow flags, VSCs. But please get your comments in. Who's going to be winning this championship right now? Who are your odds on? I know there's certain fans watching for certain people, and of course they're going to be biased. But anyone on a neutral level watching along, who are your odds on? Especially people who have been watching along week in, week out. Still, I'm not going to make comment. I'm going to be completely neutral. Looking good for Paul Jones right now. Looking good for both of them, really, as Matthew is so close to the rear wing of that Alpine as he gets himself back underway. We get racing again on lap 19 as we go down towards the Senna S. Matty Jones losing a place to RTG. Lee Danny and Super Striker swapping places. Chuckle as well, losing a place or two. Has there been a spot of bother at Curva de Sol? Looks like there's 3 wide here between Royal Rumble. 3 of them have now gone off. Prof has looks like they've made an error. They've all got themselves back underway. However, as Basin says, I'm not calling this, with a laughing face emoji. Prodigy struggling by the looks of things on the... what is going on at the back of the field? People can't make their minds up.
Yeah, I think it's the problem with these medium runners. They're just not up to grip yet, and like Prof right now is being held up by the guy Sloven who's on the mediums, and nice job, mate. Out of turn 4 there, was struggling to get the grip, actually ended up clipping into Prof, and I think that's initially what it was that set them off as they were coming around turn 2 and 3. Was just the lack of grip from the medium runners, getting that tail end so whipping out and trying to overtake the front of the car. The gap though between Chuck and Leto is coming down. It looks like Lee's going to go for a move. He's going to have the outside for turn 1. They're almost side by side here, and Chuck just keeps that nose in. And
we've got Matty Jones getting involved as well. These two are the teammates of the championship leaders, and they were scrapping for position. The rain has now stopped. And I think, Lee, these drivers might be able to pit at the end of this lap. Have the drivers on the dry tyres called an absolute blinder here? They've had to deal with 1.5 laps potentially of punishment, maybe 2 at most. But I think the grip's going to start coming to them. As we said, the tracks do dry up. The only thing that's to the drivers on intermediate advantage right now still, it's a lot of cloud cover. The sun hasn't come out. If it's supposed to be realistic, obviously the water won't be evaporating off the tarmac. Got a yellow flag in the second sector. And when are we going to see pit stops? There's still some spray coming off the back of the cars, but it's getting close. It's getting very close. I wonder if Mark, everyone's race engineer, everyone's resident race engineer, will be saying that it's a bit of both now. Not too sure which tyre is best. That's usually what they start to say at this point. Not sure what they're hearing in their ears. as they go on to lap 21. Pippo Kennedy very, very close to the back of the Alfa Romeo. Another telltale sign that you need to get on the dry tyres. We'll get it in a minute, presumably, when DRS will be enabled. That is a sure sign to get yourself on slick tyres. Haven't seen that message pop up just yet. Coit Gamer getting close to the back of Pippo Kennedy. Of course, Banter Brandon, Pippo Kennedy, Coit Gamer, all fighting for that bronze medal in Season 13's Thursday tier. And Banter Brandon again, just starting to eke out a gap here, even though Matthew is now the driver in second in the one, hunting him down. Paul Jones still in third and has got a blue car in his rearview mirror right now, which he will be keeping an eye on closely. Track not drying up too quickly though, Lee, actually. Going against the grain of F123.
Yeah, usually the track does have a tendency to dry up quite quickly, but it doesn't seem... Oh, Chuckle just tapping the rear of Super Striker there, going into one kill, and Chuckle got a wee bit too excited on the throttle there, coming on the exit and got on the curb. Super Striker managed to get that position back. Oh, he going that wee bit too far off track.
The first one to now pull the trigger, who hadn't pit under the safety car, surely going to dry tyres, soft tyres for the Aston Martin driver. Is this going to be the undercut of all undercuts? Difficult pit lane exit here, Lee, especially in the wet. On slick tyres, gonna have to take it easy, especially around here on the inside of turn 3. That wall on the outside comes at you very, very quickly and can cause you issues, but it hasn't caused the Aston Martin driver any issues as he comes out in 13th place. Track still damp though, Lee, still damp. And Banter Brandon now got himself a big decision to make. Do you pit now or do you pit next lap? Because it's going to be the next lap or two that he's going to pit. And I think Matthew, to have any chance of winning, is going to have to do the opposite of what the Alpine driver does. He stays out. Paul Jones stays out as well. Banter Brandon getting into the 116s now with the fastest lap. Again, getting into that groove. We've got a yellow flag. It's Prodigy. Hopefully, he gets himself back underway. He does. Don't see any kind of interruptions from the stewards, race directors. Chuckle. So many 5-second penalties in this race so far, Lee, for speeding in the pit lane. Everyone getting their braking point messed up at the line, or misjudging their braking point.
Yeah, I'm having a look back. You've seen nice job, mate, and Prodigy have both done 3 stops each up to now with these mixed conditions. Chuckle going on to the medium tyre now, so he's pulling the pin and going on the dry compound now.
Yeah,
still plenty of spray being kicked up.
Yeah, and it's going to be... Thing is, I think the drivers towards the front, Prodigy is retired in the pits. That's not going to cause us any problems on track. We will keep going. Banter Brandon stays out for another go. I think these guys at the front are staying out as long as possible to go on to the softs to make sure they get them to the end with a bit of life left right at the very end, because especially Matthew, Paul, they're going to need as much life left in the tyre as they possibly can as they go round, as Matthew goes round Curva de Sol down the Resta Reposta. He's 2 seconds behind the leader, and Paul Jones is 2.7 seconds behind Matthew, and he's got a driver just behind him, and when we get it, he will be within DRS range of Paul Jones as well. So that's also helping Paul right now, not having DRS to trouble him. Pippo Kennedy having DRS to help him get past, having that aid, that hand of God almostly pushing you along the straight. As we go through turn 12 and into Young Cow, keeping an eye on these drivers at the front. Bugatti now being lapped only a few laps after the safety car. He's obviously had a really difficult time after that second safety car restart. Top two still staying out. Paul Jones still staying out. The track just isn't drying up, Lee. I'm loving it. It's more realistic, but it's not something we usually see.
No, I would say that it's usually it does dry up quite quickly, but of course there is plenty of cloud still overhead, so I can just imagine it is taking quite a while. We've not got the sunshine to clear up the dampness on the track. Probably getting awfully close to the back of that Alfa Romeo, and of Paul Jones sitting in third place right now.
Yeah, he's getting. Whoa! RTG Lee is out. We've got another safety car. He lost it on the exit of the pit lane, literally on the at the go faster line. He went through that left-hander and just planted it straight in the wall.
He's barely able to get out the pits. It seemed to be.
He
space to get past anyway.
No, well, he's actually been. The game had put him back on the circuit in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Yeah, they've got to pit now. They haven't really. Oh, it's so difficult. They're going to have to because everyone else has. We're going to have 2 or 3 laps.
Oh, Matthew!
Oh no!
Matthew!
That may have cost him very, very dearly.
That is going to cost him a lot. 5 seconds on top of his time.
He's got two.
Get this.
He's got two choices. He's got 2 choices now. He either comes back in, loses a load of places, but gets rid of that penalty, and just hope and pray that he's got luck on his side this evening, because that's kind of all we've got, all he's got. Or, as Lee just said, he absolutely books it now, deals with it, puts it in a box, leaves it, and gets on with it, and goes 5 seconds up the road for whoever is behind him. That's not what we want to see. He doesn't want it to happen. I'm sure Paul Jones, in a way, as well, is a bit disappointed about that. Maybe not. But for you guys watching, us commentating, that's not what we wanted to see.
Per Boden. Sorry, Per Boden's still in the intermediates.
And stayed out.
Yes. Oh, that's swapping everything. Nice job, mate, in Royal Rumble.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's still damp, and we're going to be going at sort of, what, a third of the speed they're usually going. They're not going to have any heat in the tyres whatsoever. Nothing. It's going to be so difficult to warm them up. Even the softs, which are obviously the softest compound, the easiest to warm up, the quickest tyre over 1 lap or over a few laps anyway. It doesn't have the longevity, of course. But yeah, they're going to struggle to get the tyres warm. They really are going to struggle. But yeah, we're going on to.
He's not going to have a problem.
No, he's not going to have a problem right now. But as you say, look, the track is just starting to. It's just starting to dry. Another. The amount of 5-second penalties today is ridiculous. I've got to say it. They're ridiculous. So we're on lap 27, including this lap. We've got 10 laps to go, ladies and gents. And Matthew has got. It's not an uphill struggle. He's got a north face to climb. He's got a sheer cliff face to get up now.
Yep.
Unless Paul, something terrible happens to him. I'm not going to say those words.
Chuck.
A drive-through penalty. Falling too far back. Now, that's something we really don't see every day. I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, I think I'm the same. And I will say a drive-through penalty for that is way too harsh. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he just retires it in the pit lane. It would be kind of understandable, especially 9 laps from the end. It would be sort of rage-inducing, I would say, at this rate. But we'll see what's going to happen as he's just come around the cow. And the safety car is going to be out for another, another lap or two.
Royal Rumble is now spun. Potentially the track surface still got a little bit of, it's still a little bit damp. Still a bit of water still lying on the surface, and driver struggling to get the temperature up. And Bowden pitting again, potentially now going to the soft tyre. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Still not over for Matthew just yet. If Paul has something goes wrong, if he falls down the order, Matthew's still got a chance here. This is not over. Paul still needs to keep his wits about him. Keep it out of the walls, keep it within track limits, and just bring it home in a decent points position. But if he can't do that, Matthew is looking good. Just has to get 11 points or more. If anything, if Matthew, there is points all the way down to the bottom. But if Paul gets a really low scoring points, he can sort of be in the top 5. Matthew would have a chance, obviously. Not sure what's going to happen. So anyone being fans of Matthew, don't worry just yet. Still a bit of a way to go, and it looks like the safety car will be in this lap as well, and it will be dry for the final few laps by the looks of things, unless the weather changes again. But yeah, still got a lot of cloud cover over the circuit as well. This is about now. We're going to see the safety car announce itself that it's going in. There you go. We're going to get racing on lap 29. We're going to have 8 laps remaining, I think, Lee, once we get going on lap 29.
Yeah, but it's going to be 8 laps remaining, so he's going to need to overtake Brandon and go just about a second a lap at least.
Yeah, about 8/10 a lap faster on average, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a hope and pray that Paul Jones doesn't have get a good enough score here.
And Matthew was completely unfazed by what Banter Brandon did there. All been leaving it quite late. Can get a good slipstream down towards the Senna S as they go through that Senna S around Curva de Sol. Now we're going to go down the Retta Aposta towards Desida de Lago as he looks to the inside, maybe trying to put the Alpine driver off. But still, just got to keep it within the white lines as well. Can't afford to get any more penalties.
Nice job, mate. Matty Jones swapping places. These two are battling it out here coming into turn 6 here. And it was a nice job, mate. Manchester to get the move completed there. Looked like Matty Jones was trying to switch back at turn 5 after nice job, mate. Got the move done at turn 4.
As we go back towards the front, Paul Jones is looking good right now. He's just got to keep it all together. Make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Matthew is absolutely He's off the circuit as well, getting himself back on again at the exit of Young Cow. Banter Brandon getting the fastest lap once again into the 110s now, obviously after having fastest laps in intermediate conditions. Matthew on the absolute raggedy edge now, trying to do whatever he can to save his championship fight, his title hopes, which are starting to slip away through his fingers. It was a tall order for him today. He was the prey. He was hunting Paul Jones, and still is that way right now. But as I said, it's a real cliff he's got to climb now, and have a bit of luck on his side. We're on lap 30 of 36 in this final round of the Thursday tier in RTG. Bugatti now round as well as we go around turn 11 through turn 12 and into the final braking zone of the lap. Missing the apex there, don't really want to get on it, does unsettle the car in F1 23 as we power out and up the hill towards the final corner, trying to stay within DRS range of Banter Brandon, but it really isn't looking good right now. Chuck going into the pits, deciding to go on a new set of tyres. DRS is enabled, but I believe Matthew was outside of that detection point. And as they go past the activation point, no, he doesn't have the DRS, nor does Paul Jones, and he's gaining a gap here on Pippo Kennedy in fourth. As it stands right now as well, Van der Branden looking good for that third place in the championship right now, and had a stellar season since he's been with us since Qatar, as we go into turn 9 with the driver in second place in the championship. Another driver retiring in the pits. We're down to 14. We have lost 5 drivers so far, as we're on lap 31 and about to go on to 32 as Prof gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But hats off to Van der Branden today, Lee. He's looked so controlled so far and so comfortable leading throughout this whole race, apart from when Bugatti was leading under I think it was the first safety car, second safety car.
Yeah, I thought that was with him staying out on them old intermediates, which will by
Sorry, Bugatti's car came out of the pits dangerously then, almost cut straight in front of Paul Jones. That could have been an absolute disaster and quite controversial as well. But was able to manage it, deal with it.
The two horses are battling it out, and we're going to see, we've got a bit of a recreation of real life there, but it appears not. We're about to see the classic Haas collision that we're used to seeing anyway.
2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds between Van der Branden and Matthew. It's it's not looking good for the Aston Martin driver as we cross the line. Yep. 4 laps to go.
Judging by the way the time is right now, he's going to be finishing down in 8th.
Yeah, it's potentially, but it's just slipping and slipping away from him more and more here. Not the way we wanted to see this happen. With time penalty, super striker there going up the inside of the Jamaican of Pippo Kennedy. He's got a nice job, mate. Right on his gearbox as well. He's got passed by 1. Is he going to get passed by 2? He goes around the outside of Ferragula. Doesn't have the grip, doesn't have the momentum. Has to hold station in 6th place. And Paul Jones now starting to claw back the gap from his championship rival and getting within DRS range. Lee, does he want to get second place on the road? He's come 3rd in the last 4 races, and where he is right now, with time penalties added, he will be finishing 2nd. And we won't say it just yet, but we all know what that will mean as we go on to the 3rd to final lap.
Oh, nice job, mate. Looking like he's going to go for a move into turn 1. He switches to the outside here. We're going to be side by side. Pippo Kennedy, nice job, mate. And Pippo Kennedy manages to defend, having that inside line here, but it's going to leave him a little bit vulnerable. Going down into turn 4, you see that light flashing away like a beacon to say, overtake me. Mm-hmm. But he manages to keep that gap there with the aid of the DRS on Super Striker just ahead.
Just over 3 tenths.
Royal Rumble got a wee bit shaky there coming out of turn 4, and there's Matty Jones into the wall. Is this going to be a light safety car?
I don't see it. Don't see it at this point.
No.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. It's a little bit too late in the day. Matty Jones now losing his rear wing as well. 5 tenths separate Matthew and Paul Jones. We're about to go on to the penultimate lap with Van der Branden leading by 4.5 seconds as we cross the line. Here comes Paul Jones. Here he goes, closer and closer up the inside. Goes the championship leader. This might seal the deal, but Matthew is holding on and hoping for something to happen, praying that luck is on his side, that the racing gods are going to gift him something here. Now Paul Jones has got a Ferrari right behind him, and he's got to keep his wits about him now. We're in the penultimate lap of this race, penultimate lap of the season. What is Paul Jones going to do? Is he going to give it up? Is he just going to make sure he gets to the finish No. Holding on to second right now and eyeing up that, holding on to third right now, eyeing up second place. Is he going to go for it again into the Senna S? 5 seconds. The top two are separated by now. The gap that Matthew would have needed to secure the victory, but it's the wrong way round. Matthew is round at Young Cal, and he's out. The championship has been decided. We're about to go on to the final lap, and there you go, ladies and gents. Paul Jones will win season 13. He's got a lap to go, and what's he going to do? He's just going to let them go by. Don't worry, chaps. I don't need the podium. I just want the championship. It came down to the wire. But he can enjoy this final lap, Lee.
Yeah, but you could just chill out now, knowing that he is the champion now.
And yeah,
Matthew, that is
very, very tasty though. It was. I'm not sure if he retired himself out of frustration. I believe that's what he's done.
Yeah,
that's what I think he's done.
That was a quick retire. To
be
honest, that was quite quick.
It really was. Banter Brandon now coming into Young Cal. Hopefully he's around for next season, because this man right here could be fighting for a championship in season 14. Had such a strong end to this season. He comes to the line to win another race in season 13 and the final race. Super Striker looks like he's going to take a second place. Fantastic job from him. Pippa Kennedy is a drag race to the line, but there you go. Paul Jones finishes 5th place. He goes into the RTG Hall of Fame, and he is your season 13 champion in the Thursday tier. Hats off to that man. Been super consistent all season, and thoroughly deserved, Lee. Thoroughly deserved.
Yep, I won't say that, but also commiserations to Matty there for bringing it right down to the penultimate lap, of course. Getting a bit unfortunate with that 5-second time penalty, and then spinning out on the penultimate lap, of course. A bit unlucky there, but quite a lot could happen to anyone, really, pretty much. But yeah, that's the end of season 13, and like you said, Paul Jones, champion there, and we'll get ready to go on the rundown of the final order here. Seeing Banter Brandon there on that top step next to Super Striker and Pippo Kennedy. So Banter Brandon gets full points, the full house here for fastest lap and the pole position and the race winner. So brilliant race from him. Super Striker in second there, coming all the way up from 8th. Pippo Kennedy finished in 3rd. Nice job, mate, in 4th. Paul Jones 5th. Ledcoix in 6th. Danny in 7th. Managing to come up all the way from 16th place, and then Per Boden up from 18th place.
Wow, fair play.
And then Prof up to 9th from 17th place. 17th. So nicely done from them three. Managing to come up quite a bit there. Chuck finished in 10th. Chuckle in 11th. Matty Jones 12th. Matthew, unfortunately, didn't make the end of the race. Neither did Royal Rumble, Bugatti Sloven, Lee, Prodigy, GT or Ake. So, that is the finale of season 13.
And we'll just wait now. I'm not sure if we're going to get any of the top 3 in. Of course, we'll get Paul Jones in. I'm sure he will turn up. We'll give it a minute or so to let them turn up. But, wow, yeah. Driver of the day, Lee.
To be honest, I think possibly even Per Boden.
Yeah, go on. We'll give it to Per Boden. Driver of the season.
I'm kind of stuck on that one, to be honest.
Okay, we'll have a We'll
I
have a
mean,
think.
Brandon has done very well in the latter half of the season, of course, joining that little bit of late. Uh, so in the title fight, that was his sixth race. So yeah, he managed to get quite good points margin to finish third. Quite possibly would have could have been world champion here in the RTG, but unfortunately started that a little bit later. But yeah, it'd possibly for my choice would possibly be Banter Brandon, I would say.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's what I think. So unless the admins slash owners have a different opinion to us, or if they not too sure. But anyway, we'll let you know next week when we're back for season 14. I'm just waiting and hoping that we'll have the top two from the championship in for an interview. Might do, might not. Sorry, I'm just trying to. There we go. I couldn't find the right place to go to the showroom then. So yeah, we'll put it on the Alfa Romeo, of course, for the champion. There we go. We have the two drivers fighting for that championship. Just joining us. Right. So just to both of you, Paul, congratulations, Matthew. I'm so sorry, mate. It was bad luck, really. Just it was unfortunate for yourself. We'll speak to you in a second. Paul, you must be over the moon, mate. After that.
Yeah, I am buzzing to be fair, but my God, I was sweating like towards the end. I mean, I know Matthew got the penalty, so that sort of made it a bit easier. But then I thought the guys behind, it was a crossover on the mediums and the softs I was worried about, and it happened clearly at the end because the mediums are so much quicker. But yeah, no, I'm buzzing with it. Just especially after being away for a few days, lack of practice, I thought I might throw it all away tonight. But unfortunately, Matthew made a few errors, and obviously it's cost him. But yeah, I'm buzzing.
I'd actually forgotten you'd gone away. I'd forgotten
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, fantastic though. The whole season long. I mean, you said you won 3 races, but then kept it super consistent throughout the rest of the season, which just you just bought your time really, and just kept out of trouble, kept it clean, and really this you must think this is probably your best performance all season in RTG. I know obviously the championship kind of makes that obvious, but for yourself, do you think it has been your best season?
It's up there. I mean, like you say, I've won a few leagues before. Like I think it was season 10. I had a season long battle with Chuckle, so that was good. And then I think in the past seasons, I've had battles against Marcus where I've come out on top. So I'd say it's one of the most stressful, especially the last 3 races, because I'm not going to lie, I just didn't have any pace, and Matthew was just absolutely rapid. So yeah, I mean, last few I was a bit concerned. Not going to lie.
Yeah, and the other thing to congratulate you on as well is the fact that you've knocked Chuckle off his perch as well.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I just said that in the chat because at the start of the season, because obviously I've never raced on Thursdays before, and I did say to her, I'm coming here to take your crown. So we just had a bit of banter about that. So yeah,
Brilliant. As I said, Stella, it was a bit unfortunate today with the safety cars ruining the flow again a little bit. I think obviously the league's going to have to address the safety car, the amount of them, hopefully next season. But still, you had to have, the mental strength to keep it in there, make sure to reset yourself and go again. Obviously, you had a lot of pressure from Pippo behind for a long time as well. So,
yeah,
as you said,
yeah. I mean,
stressful.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I see Matthew gained a few places at the start. I noticed he was straight into my view on the timing screen, so straight away I knew he was already flying. But I made a mistake. I can't remember which turn it was, but I made a mistake and then lost position to Matthew. And then, like I say, the safety car carnage, anything can happen. It was just more for me. Stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. Just keep within a position of Matthew or a couple of positions with Matthew. Then it's all good. Like I wasn't really trying to push at the end, but then when I seen the guys behind on the mediums catching, I thought, yeah, I'm going to have to try and push a bit more. But it's that crossover. If you push too much, you spin it, and it's like I let Nice Job through, I let Super Strike through. I thought there's no point in me battling them. And then obviously Matthew, I can't remember which Matthew binned it, but that's obviously pressure off. I know, and obviously got a penalty as well, which didn't help. But yeah, I've got it for Matthew because, like I say, he's been rapid all season. I mean, I wanted it to be a bit of a different fight than that in the last race, rather than obviously one of us binning it and getting a time penalty. But obviously it wants to be. But
Yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations, mate. Obviously, fantastic season. We've enjoyed watching you all season as well. Brilliant. Honestly, fantastic. So,
Cheers,
hopefully,
mate.
are you back next season, Thursday again?
Well, we've just been discussing it because I think they're doing tiers
Yeah.
by speed now. So I don't know if I'm going to be allowed in the Thursday tier. I don't know what the score is, sort of thing. We've all sort of selected our sort of AI level in terms of against the computer sort of thing. So obviously it'll be down to the admins to decide what happens from there.
Okay.
But I just want to say to Matthew though, like absolutely class all season, and I'm not going to lie, last 3 or 4 races I've been sweating. Like I've actually been stressing over them, thinking, oh god, I'm dreading tonight. Thinking, yeah, he's the one in form, and I've got to be the one to stay with him. So yeah, congrats to Matthew because he's been class all season. To be honest, he definitely deserves it as well as me. So
cheers, mate. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, you were the prey today, and Matthew was the predator, and unfortunately, he just couldn't catch his dinner. Unlucky, mate. Honestly, as I said, the second half of the season, you really sort of took it up a notch, and unfortunately, it's just the last race that let you down. And it said just felt so. Me and Lee felt so bad for you getting that 5-second penalty. We really didn't want to see that. You weren't the only one. There were so many of you guys getting 5 seconds into the pits. It was something in the back of my mind. I was a bit worried about one of you getting it. Can't take it back, unfortunately. But yeah, stellar job anyway all season. Obviously, apart from tonight. How are you feeling?
Over the moon with that season. I won't lie. It's my best season ever in RTG. And I don't know. Bit disappointed for that penalty. I don't think it was a penalty. I didn't speed, I don't think. But the game's the game, innit? It's always right, as we all know. But yeah, brilliant season shared with Paul. So amazing. Over the moon with that.
And are you back as well next season? Either if it's Monday, because Monday for everyone that's still listening is going to be tier 1, I believe, and tier 2 will be Thursday. So presumably you two will be in Monday rather than Thursday. Is that going to be the case?
I'll be back for the tier 1. Yeah, getting Paul's championship off him. It's mine.
Well, the one thing that you two have got to consider next season, for your sakes, well, obviously Paul, at the end it's how it's been. Thank your lucky stars that Banter Brandon didn't have another couple of races, because he's been absolutely stellar since he joined. And me and Lee have just said he's our driver of the season as well, just for the fact that he got third in the championship after missing the first 3 races, not attending the first 3 races, not even being a driver. So
4.
He's not made one mistake the whole season. Fair play to him.
Yeah, he's stupidly quick. I mean, we knew he was quick from I think was it Qatar, the first race that he had with us. I can't remember.
And I'm rapid round there. I hate to be big-headed, but I'm quick round there.
Matthew is quick round there. And he was, well, I think we all crossed the line within 0.2 of each other, something like that. So we knew straight away he was a threat. And then obviously I think the following week I think he won again. So yeah, we both said ourselves. I think even Matthew was looking behind him at one point, saying, "Can he still win it?"
I said that last race, yeah.
No, there was a fight for third place though. So he's now settled with third place. That's where he's finished. But there was a big fight between him, Pippo Kennedy. Can't remember who the third one was.
Was it Coix or something? He was up there.
Yeah,
Coix was up there.
Yeah. That was it. Have you guys got a favourite race from this season?
Spa was a good one. I think I had a battle with Chuckle, and Matthew was like right on our tail as well going into the last lap.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I think for me Spa probably stands out of all of
them. Mine's Australia, I reckon. Brilliant pace, not one mistake that whole race. Another one that stands out probably Qatar, the massive battle between me, Paul, and Brandon. But my internet.
Qatar, yeah.
Hate to bring it in, but the internet.
Yeah, that's not helps, has it? I mean, we'll never know. Obviously, we'll never know what would happen. But
I'm not saying that, man. Just
no, it's not ideal.
Is it?
So, to be honest, you threw it all the way on the last race, so it wouldn't matter.
Cheeky sod.
Anyway, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for joining us. And Matthew, obviously, I know you're going to have some mixed emotions right now. So I appreciate you coming to join and have a chat with us. thanks everyone for watching along. As I said, there's been a lot of you that have been consistently watching all season. So from me and Lee and the admins and the drivers as well, I think we all appreciate having some fans. Matthew as well, mate. You had a bit of a fan club in the comments tonight as well. You had a lot of people on your side. So that was nice to see as well. So I appreciate the people who did watch along today. And I said for the other part of the season. But don't worry, I haven't got to wait long. We're back next week for season 14. So yeah, make sure you come back for that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know there's something that you still haven't, so please do. And like the video, share this title decider with your friends who like watching league races. Don't spoil it for them though. Anyway, thanks very much from me and Lee for season 13. It's goodbye from me and from Lee.